Hi, everybody. Hope you're doing good. I had a pretty good day. Got a fresh bale of hay for my horse, and she's happy. It's been raining. Oh boy, that light's changing. Sorry about that. Have no idea why, but huh, yeah, it does that every once in a while. Well, today's been kind of an exciting day on YouTube. As far as watching what everybody's talking about, and for me, I'm thinking, the Bible verse, there's nothing new under the sun. And I wrote down a few things last night, what man has perfected. Well, filth is number one. But then going into light and bombs and petrol, um, they really haven't proven much over that. And yes, they have airplanes and they have helicopters, but they really haven't proven anything much over that either. It's like, show me the proof. I want to see your proof. So, um, then I was thinking, wonder why it is here I'm out in the country and 10 miles from a town approximately, 8 where the crow flies. And um, there doesn't seem to be any colors in my sky like other people that live in cities where the factories are pouring out the filth and all these particulates and everything else that like sit down in valleys and hollows and all this other stuff. It's like um I told you months ago, I don't know if some of you were here, but I said if my skies ever change, I'll really let you know. And I do believe in wormwood, but I don't believe in all the faces and stuff that we've been seeing in the sky. And it does say that everybody will be deceived. Well, what's the deception and what's the great awakening? Are we awake yet? you know, or are we still being deceived? Or maybe some of us have never been deceived and some of us will never wake up. I don't know. Just just thinking about different things going on in the world. So, yeah. Um oh, I always think about when I'm making to eat that day. That's something I probably will tell you always. I made some spaghetti sauce, some homemade spaghetti sauce for supper later. So, um just the cooking me. I always thinking about what's going to be healthiest like on one day or the next, that type of thing. Trying to stay as physically fit as I can. So then I was thinking, I know they're pushing the fear propaganda, but in all reality, people are in danger if you don't think you're in danger. That can be an issue. I was thinking, well, here's a scenario. Um, I won't even talk about the times I've been jumped or gang jumped or different things that have happened to me. But my ex was walking out of a bar and some guys come up and smacked him in the back of the head with a 2x4. I mean, if he had been more aware of his surroundings, that wouldn't have happened. That's kind of like if you're not expecting something to happen, well then you could be in danger because these things happen, you know? So if anybody's ever been jumped or beat up or anything like that, then you're fully aware that even in times when you think these things won't happen, there it's a possibility, you know? So I'm not saying everything in the sky is fake, but I've seen a lot of fake crap, and you can't convince me different. I mean, first off, it is an old saying, but I didn't just fall off the turnip truck. This turnip's been around a while. So, and in 60 years and watching the skies change or not. So what are the skies like in your area? Some people, some of them I've seen. That's why, if I ask where you live and things, I'm not a stalker. I could care less like that, you know. Um I'm just asking out of curiosity for like what part of the country you hell. Um I'm not asking for your social security number, I'm just asking where do you live? What state, for God's sakes. Yeah. Somebody said, well, our trees aren't turning yet. Well, then that tells me that you're either in Egypt or you're down south. But and vice versa, if mine were turning now, I must be further north. But I mean, when I ask somebody, I'm curious, how old are you? What's your middle name? When were you born? What's your social security number? No, I'm just kidding. We all got a number. They know us, they know where we're at. If they want to do something bad to us, all they got to do is come and get us and do it, you know? So what the hell's to worry about, right? Yeah, you got to be more fearful of, I would say, a mugging or drug related situation nowadays in a city. That's what I would say. Or if you're going in the unsavory parts of town or, whatever you have to do, you know. Or like when I was working late at our country store and I was the only one there before I got the money in the safe at night to go out and lock up the gas pumps and shit. It was a little scary, but I knew I could handle myself. But, still, things happen. So I'm not really worried like that. I don't know. I really don't even worry about locking my doors. I figure if somebody wants to do something to me, oh, whatever, you know. Now, if I had little kids around, that'd be a whole different thing. But yeah, but it used to be we were able to leave our car keys in the car and um leave our houses unlocked. And still, I mean, I'll walk down my road and not lock my house because I can see who's driving in, and there's only one way in my driveway. So that kind of is a bonus. And once I get in here, there's no way out. That's why I walk through my neighbor's woods because you can't get through mine. So I'm going to be going back there again and I'll show you some more of it. And it's a little treacherous. You could never do it in the dark. So yeah, that's kind of cool too. It's hard to sneak up around here. So even too, with vehicles, we can hear them coming because it's so quiet out around here. So we can hear them for a long ways off, well over a mile, if not more. So yeah, and that's nice. That part is really good. So yeah, I started a fire for my horse and my chicken today just so the rocks could heat up around it and they could stay warm, and then put my horse's bale kind of close enough where she could go and warm up because like I said it was raining. So um I was surprised it started pretty good for being that a lot of it was kind of wet, the wood. But yeah, it did really good. And Doug said when he come in, or no, he was walking past the window, he said that just chicken was sitting on the rock and he was telling her to get down so she didn't turn into a fricassee chicken, which is kind of like a cream chicken on noodles. So, but I figured she'd be over there, 'cause they can feel the heat. So, yeah. Why not? Oh, yeah, she has to be careful, but a bird's balance is pretty incredible anyway, especially when they are chickens and they're walking on their feet all day long anyway. That's what they do. And they can climb on with their claws. So, yeah, their little chicken toes. I don't know how people could eat them chicken toes. I guess they like cook them up and suck the sinew off there, and I don't know. Not for me. you know. But I do like pig's feet. Pickled pig's feet. I'm not a big pork eater, but that's something I do like. So a lot of people don't like those, but yeah. Just like my pickled eggs, I pickled a bunch. I did I have one yet? No, not yet out of this batch, but yeah. They are my chicken's eggs too. If I make them from store-bought eggs, I eat more of them because they're more appetizing to me because they're not my pets' babies. So, yeah. So, I thought I'd get on here and say hello a little earlier than I normally do. And feeling pretty good today. Not bad. I spent a couple hours actually out in the rain, monkeying around, making a fire, and getting the gate open for when Doug come back with bail. He got like oh 4 more home today, so she has 10 for the winter. Big round ones. So yeah, and usually there's 3 crops of hay, but there was only 2 crops of hay around here this year, so hay is more expensive for the farmers. So that means that possibly the price of like milk and whatnot that depend on animals eating hay will be more expensive. So that would be beef and, you know, um, farm animals, like pigs, whatever a person eats. So at least in our area. So yeah, but we got ours for 40 a bale, and the guy was taking the rest of them. He sells in the cities for up to $65 a bale. So yeah, big money. But yeah, I don't know. It seemed like I had a lot on my mind, and then sometimes I get on here and it's, oh, well, too, um, it's just funny. I'll be thinking something, and then a call for an uprising goes and puts it on. It's like he's a mind reader, or God's putting the same thoughts in everybody's head like that. So I was thinking about the deception. I still say if people are trying to make money or gains in any way, um, they're a part of the deception. So I'm not trying to gain anything. I'm trying to put people's minds at ease, say hello um, to my fellow God loving human beings, and that's it. So, oh, it could be I'm kicking my cord. So anyway, um, let's see what else I'm thinking. Oh, yeah, there's a gentleman named, well, he's the high frequency tribe. His name's Hamish, and he's been gone off of YouTube for 70 days. He suffers with depression. Well, I was wondering how he's doing. I'm sending him vibes like, come on, get on here, buddy. Let's just tell us you're okay, because I was worried they were going to put him on medication. And sometimes I guess maybe if they've been sick or did drugs or whatever and their metabolism is off, a lot of times what you eat is really important, but pills are freaking scary. I always said there's no pill for depression. There is no cure for depression. Well, he found the cure. He found Jesus Christ. And he had a pastor he was talking to, and he said an older counselor lady, and he said he's not trying to push God down anybody's throats either, but he asked God, well, his higher creator, to show him in his heart, to let him know definitively. Well, he asked him for some help, and that's the help he received. And he can't prove it. Nobody really can. When you get help like that, how can you prove it? Well, I was thinking today, um, how many times I was helped and I just could not prove it. And then I'm thinking, well, just, on a daily basis, I haven't really needed a lot of help like that lately. And then it occurred to me because I'm being constantly carried, constantly cared for. So it's kind of a worryless situation. That's why I don't worry about stuff like that. So, yeah, on and off with the colors, geez. So, yeah. And my phones aren't even hooked up to any phone service. They're just, I use them for the internet. I have two of them that I use. And so my other phone is through satellite, but it is just a regular landline phone. And so, yeah, geez, okay. I'm purple. I'm pink. How about yellow? Jeez, that's kind of blue. Doggone it anyway. So, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I guess I thought I had so much to say, and then, yeah, I'll sit a little bit and think about it. Um, oh, yeah. Um, I went over to see if the Overdue Champ still had his channel up. He took it down. I was going to say, hey, where'd SJD go? He's Jesus Christ. Remember, he was saying, hey, where are you? For Christ's sake. You know, I know where you are. I knew where you were a long time ago, buddy. But yeah, I suppose he changed the name of his channel again. Because why take it down? Even if your movie said he was going to move to Florida, it does. I mean, your channel doesn't move. It's always on YouTube. So no matter where you are, you could go to the Philippines and it'd still be the Overdue Champ or whichever one he has now. I think things were getting a little hot in Hell's Kitchen. Oh, that's in New York. That's right. That wasn't Michigan. Yeah, Pontiac, Michigan, or wherever in that area, Huron, wherever, you know. Yeah, another one trying to make money off of people with the Illuminati written numbers. I watched them write it. I watched them write my stuff. They asked me about some of my favorite things so they could put it in mine, you know? So, yeah, God's a witness to everything. So, yeah, you can't push God on anybody. I guess they really have to want to believe they didn't make themselves. They really have to know that within themselves. Because if they really don't, They just don't. I guess there's nothing you can do about it. I know I seem a little prudish, with the shirtless guys on the internet and everything, people, but you got to understand where I'm coming from. I'll give you a scenario. I totally let go of a friend for this. And I was up by the lake too. So for people to have their shirts off and getting suntan, but I told a friend of mine, either put your shirt on or go away. He jumped in his truck and went away, and that was it, because my husband wasn't home. And I thought, well, number one, what are you doing there? I have these things happen. I was laying, there's nobody. I had like three neighbors back in the day, 30 years ago, laying in my backyard taking a suntan in a bikini. And this guy that wanted to get with me came while Doug was at work. And I said, he's not here. I wrapped a blanket around me and went and talked to him. And um, it's just like the forces of evil know when you're vulnerable, and but anyway, speaking of vulnerability, so these guys with no shirts on, why? This is half naked, it is. I am not vulnerable, but how about my granddaughters? You know, how about somebody else's daughters? You know, um, the animals don't know if they're naked, but people do, you know, and it really is not a good example, especially the way this world is right now with the deviated sexuality, you know. Who are you trying to turn on? Yourself? You know, it's like, well, it isn't proper in the eyes of God. Ask. Ask God. Tell me if I'm wrong. I know I'm not. If a guy walked in here half naked right now, well, for one thing, it's cold out, but I'd be like, you know, did you forget something? You know, is there kind of a part of the Bible that speaks about nakedness and virtues? Got to look up the word virtuous, you know, and lust. If I were to turn somebody's head in lust, that would be disgusting to me. I just wish people would look at it a little more for what it really is. You know, why? There's really no reason. There's only one reason. Look at me. Hey, there's a lot of people with excellent bodies that keep their clothes on, you know, honestly. That's kind of a private thing. It really is. I believe that's why we have clothes, not just because of the weather, but because, uh, well, how disgusting would it be if we lived in a society that was a nudist colony? You know, if everybody was naked, would that mean that babies would be pooping where? And old people would be dripping where? Um, Little kids at school playing sports. Do we write the numbers on their backs? Brings a lot of things to mind, doesn't it? Cooking bacon naked, that would be dangerous. How about barbecuing naked? That's dangerous. You know, there's a reason that we have clothes, you know. So, yeah. So I'm really not being prudish. It's not like that. I don't look at somebody and think, God damn, excuse me. I do mean that, but I don't look at people and damn them like that. It's not like that. I'm not hating on them. I'm just like, I don't understand because, I mean, if I'm at the beach and I'm wearing a swimsuit or, like I said, tanning in my own yard or something, that's one thing. But I guess I've just never been one to have to feel the need to show myself. You know, if I'm at the beach, I'm like, hey, look at me. I'm strong. I'll save your life. you know, but, and like I said, I talked about being a senior bodybuilder, and I still could, you know, but that's a profession of building yourself for a explicit situation, you know. So if these people are bodybuilders, maybe they should let that be known. Maybe that should be their profession. Then if you got your shirt off, well, then I guess we could judge you on really how well you have developed your muscles. You know, I don't know. I got I have one son that keeps his clothes on and the other one not so much. So I guess one kind of takes after his mom. He's a really good looking guy too. They both are. Just one keeps his clothes on and one not so much. So, oh, well, then I'm going to tell you this. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, I started. Here I go. My ex would wear these short shorts with no underwear and just like put his leg up on something. And I'm like, oh my God, Jesus, please. You know, guys like that. Do you know any people like that? I do. Yeah, I've been around some pretty horrifying things in my life. So, yeah, it is horrible. You know, it's not acceptable to God. I know that for a fact. I really doubt that. I mean, the stories of the angels in heaven and stuff, I really doubt that they felt the need to take their shirts off and preach, or you know what I'm saying. To me, the word of God and shirtlessness just doesn't go together. You know, the beach and shirtlessness does. You know, and that's about it. So it's kind of like if you have company come in and you got your nightgown on. Do you go get dressed or put a robe on, or do you just hang around? Decisions, decisions. Well, I'm not definitively saying that nothing's going on our skies, but I am definitely saying that it looks like it's mostly around the cities. It looks like the heavy metals and the pollution and the spraying that they've been doing can also carry these apparitions. And I'd like to know all your opinions on that. That's interesting to me. If you would tell me where you live and what month you were born, that's kind of interesting too. They told me I was born in February the 15th. I have no idea. I don't believe them. My mother forgot my birthday. My birth mother forgot my birthday. I said, well, what time of day was it? And, trying to get a sense of maybe they were born like both mine. One was 6:30 something, the other one was 7:30 something in the morning, so I thought maybe they're like me, or she had no idea. So she told me sometimes she couldn't even remember the day, let alone the hour. So much for that. And like I said, they did change my name. It was Kathleen Marie. So, yeah, what a bummer. I guess it really doesn't matter. But, people can look up their zodiac signs and it kind of correlates with the time of year you're born, and kind of correlates with, oh, I think like hemispheres where you were born, and if you were born in the South and you're a Leo, you might be family oriented, that type of thing. But I don't know. So they say I'm an Aquarian. I don't know. If this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, um, that started a long time ago. Things started dawning on me a long time ago. So I just didn't have anybody to talk to all this about. Not much. I mean, the people that knew about it and knew the agendas, it's like this Project Bluebeam. Well, I won't say nobody, but very few people are actually talking about it. But yet they're showing it every day on all the sky phenomenon. And then we're just supposed to forget about the great deceptions that are happening. It's not just one deception, it's many, 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 many. If there's something they can lie about, they'll lie about it. That's my opinion. So, yeah, so I probably get some flack on that because I know some people, and I'll watch the Nibiru stuff. It's interesting to me every once in a while to see what's going on in different parts of the country, but like this one English dude practically yells about it, and but I have premonitions that God gave me of things being painted in and done and scenery and this, that, and the next thing, and I'm gonna stick with that. So, um, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that they are making things appear look like things are crazy in our skies. And then I believe that God's going to make something look really, really crazy in the sky and scare the living daylights out of them. And I think He'll put peace in our hearts and we'll be just fine while they're totally freaking out. And that's when we start laughing. So that's what I believe. Like I said, tell me what it looks like around your place. I mean, I know what it looks like in Pennsylvania for the most part, and Ohio is pretty much covered by a couple of people that I catch some Roger Paul, and I was watching Seven Spalding, but and I'm not going to name any more names of these people. That's enough of that. But it gets to be a bit disheartening. I'll tell you the difference between Roger Paul and Spalding. Roger Paul's colors on his videos aren't filtered. They're not really monkeyed with a lot. He'll have them done by other people at times, but it's natural color and it does look like some clouds and sky phenomenon and storms rolling in from, I'll say, like the Atlantic, maybe coming up through the Gulf of Mexico or whatnot. But then you got the one in Cincinnati, and his colors used to look a little more real. Now they're starting to look funky. So, and there's one down in, I think, Missouri or Mississippi, and that's funky. And oh, that's the way it is. And if there's crap in the sky, that stuff would be here all day long. So, and I was wondering, how could this woman, another woman in Minnesota, northern Minnesota, exactly like me, mm, and actually kind of wanted to get together with me and go out to eat. And I don't really even eat during the day. And I told her that. And then when I mentioned that maybe we'd party, I didn't mean like get inebriated. And she's like, we'll party up. And then I was her enemy when I said no, thank you, But I was wondering how, just an hour away, did she capture a sun halo? And there was no halo where I live on the sun. So go figure, huh? How does that work? I mean, I know it can rain in one area and not another. That's a given. But this was literally, um, whatever. You see what I'm saying? I mean, literally, as the crow flies, she's literally not even up. If I could just go straight without having to zigzag to get to where she's at, because zigzagging around lakes and different things, it's like not even 50 miles. I could be there in a half hour if it was a straight drive. So, like, not even like 30 miles as the crow flies, and she's got a sun halo. Wow, how does that work? You know? Yeah, and she also lives around a city where the pollution, like I say, can be different filters put on their cameras and different things done. And I really don't care what they say anymore. I've got cameras, I've got telescopes, I've seen stuff, and I know stuff, and I'm not letting anybody play with anybody and really get away with it. But I really just like to see. I mean, oh, and even over on Tenerife, the Canary Islands, I've actually seen those skies, and you can see the red Sahara dust, which I've seen when I was down in Arizona coming around from Africa. So, I mean, I've seen that, and I know what that looks like. And yes, it does make the skies kind of red, but not like it's been. And something seemed a little funky and a little off with all that too, because I've been watching the jet streams for a long time, literally over 40 years. I've been watching the skies all my life. I didn't just start watching the skies, the moon and the stars and the sun. You know, I grew up with the greatest technology as far as binoculars and telescopes and things like that, microscopes, all these things in my home when I was a kid. So this is not something, my sciences and studies of that didn't just start, you know. This is something I've been into my entire life. So, yeah. Well, I will let this go, and that's pretty much, I think, all I have to say today. As far as I know. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. And yep, let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods or your city or whatever, or your state. Or if you don't want to tell me where you live, maybe just tell me what it looks like. But I truly believe if somebody was going to do something to you, they can look you up and find you anyway. I don't know. I don't know why people are so afraid to put out where they live. Everything's public record, unless you're not using your right name or there's a reason, or if you're hiding, or, if you feel like you are in danger because you did do something wrong. I could understand that. But guess what? God's watching you and He knows right where you're at. So, anyway, everybody, I love you. Have a really good day or night or wherever you're at, and God bless your day or night wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.